I got something to say, got something to say.
Hello there. There's going to be a lot of benefit for everyone tonight because tonight is all about women's rights. The hijab, is it modesty or is it oppression? Does a man have the right to beat his wife? Can a man marry more than one wife? These are compelling questions, and we are going to address all of those tonight. So stay tuned, stay with us, and see you on the back end. We'll go ahead and move forward with our podcast for today and with our introductions. And first, our wonderful co-host, we have Sister Sakina Abdul-Jabbar, who's living down in Texas these days. Alhamdulillah. So glad she's here. She's got a lot of knowledge and a lot of wisdom. And so definitely one of the sisters I lean on in our Muslim community. And we have as our wonderful guest today, Sister Rashida, who's from Maryland, living in Texas, and she's 27 years old, meaning she took a shot at 27 years ago. So she's a vet to the game, as they say. So I would like to turn the floor over to Sister Rashida to hear her conversion story, inshallah ta'ala.
As a female, I definitely needed some of those things that I had been bombarded with when it comes to the status of women in Islam cleared up. Now, this wasn't the only reason that I did this, but I wanted to make sure I read the Quran in its entirety before moving forward with this faith. You know, there were basically three things that people would always put out there. You know, women are forced to cover. So they would talk about the hijab. Women are, you know, a man can have 4 wives or multiple wives. So that's something they would put out there. And then third, they would say a man could beat his wife. So those were like the three things that people kind of like really focused in on. So when it comes to the hijab, like I mentioned, I was Catholic. I went to Catholic school. I saw the nuns, right, in their habits. And so that, of course, along with seeing Muslim women over the years, I knew that it was religious based. I knew that they covered out of their reverence for God, and that it didn't have anything to do with a man. So I never associated the hijab with, you know, a man. The second thing, again, as I mentioned, is the whole multiple wives thing. I also understand it to be something that the woman has a say in the sense that, you know, she doesn't have to go along with that. That's not something that she has to do. So if I, as a woman, did not want to be involved in a polygamistic marriage, I don't have to do that. So that was another thing that was just out the window for me. So then that last thing of the beating of the wife, when they think about it, of course, they're thinking about it in the social context. They're not thinking about it in a religious context. So when you read the Quran and you're looking at the steps that lead up to this, there are three steps. Number one, he's supposed to admonish her. So what is he admonishing her about? Obviously, it's behavior that is something that is interfering with her relationship with him, big H him, not little h him. The second thing that he's supposed to do is to stop sharing the bed. Okay, so you're talking about a man who's going to leave his bed with his wife and sleep on the couch or do whatever it is to reinforce the fact that you're doing something that is causing a rift in your relationship with your creator, and it's serious. I'm going to stop sharing the bed with you. Now, third, then he is supposed to, quote unquote, beat her lightly, is always in the parentheses of the translations that I've seen. And at the time of reading it, I didn't know about the hadith, about the Prophet ﷺ saying, or peace be upon him, saying, you know, it's as simple as this. Something like a toothbrush, little tap on the hand. So again, it's more so symbolic of really trying to reinforce the fact that you are doing something that's causing a rift between you and your Lord. Right. So that's how I viewed that. And so that was something that was cleared up for me. So again, read the entire Quran, these little issues here and there cleared up for me. And I took my Shahada that following Jummah, that following Friday.
And then you took the time out to do your research, and especially with women's rights, because that is a big thing. That's what we hear about: beating women. You have to cover your hijab. Men can marry multiple wives, and those are elements that can turn a sister, a potential female Muslim, away from the deen if that's all they hear, and they don't take that time to ask someone who's learned or investigate that. Thank you for spending time with us here at C2I. We hope that you found this beneficial. And if so, you know exactly what to do. Smash the subscribe, like, and share button. And for additional content and other conversion stories, please see our YouTube playlist, the Facebook page, the Conversion to Islam website, or any of your favorite podcast applications. Onwards and upwards towards the light.